Yo guys, what is up, Dar is back in World of Tanks, patch 8.3, and I'm covering the last of the gold tanks I have to cover, which is the FCM.mp4, the tier 8 premium French tank. There it is. It's not the most attractive looking thing in the world. I have played one game in this thing so far. Alright, so, yeah, let's kind of jump into some of the history on it, and I'm going to say the history on this thing is sketchy at best, and there's really not a whole lot on it, just because, you know, there was a lot going on, at this particular point. You know, this tank was conceived, back during, you know, about 1940 to 1945. And it was a French super heavy tank, and you know, it was designed by the Forges de Quatorze of Melete Company, whatever. I don't speak French, sorry. But yeah, so I mean, there was this company over there in France that was, you know, charged with designing this thing. Now, this was going to be, you know, like I said, a French super heavy tank, but it was never produced. There was just so many things going on with tank development at the time. You know, they had this, they had the ARL, the AMX series, all going on at the same time, and yeah, they just kind of needed to start clearing the board a little bit. You know, it just had a little too much going on in the kitchen at that particular point in time. So this one was scrapped. Alright, so just for shits and giggles, let's see what World of Tanks has to say on the issue. I do like to do this sometimes when I can't find a lot of history on something. It says it was development was started in 1945. The vehicle was conceived as a replacement for the AMX 50T and combined features of the typical pre-war French tanks. Constructed industry was as well as the German innovations. The vehicle was equipped with an additional container trailer equipped for underwater diving and a demountable mine clearer. Anybody ever seen a bulldozer? Yeah, that would have been a bulldozer with a gun. Basically just a big shovel on the front of it. Alright, that's your mine clearer. Woo! Oh shit, isn't technology great? Okay, so we're looking at this, you know, now I don't have anything to compare this to, so we're just going to have to go with the tech tree here. Let's see, we're going to pull up all of our tier 8s, so let's start here with the American. We want our T28, and, oh, I'm sorry, not our T28, what the hell am I thinking? What the frack? Okay, we want T34. We're not going to pull up the Pershing, I mean, it's a different weight class, right? Okay, so let's go over here to the Russians, and we're going to pull up, I believe, the IS-6. What the fuck? No, go back, shithead. Tech tree. We just lost it. Okay. There we go. There's our IS-6. Apparently, the KV-5 isn't on the test server either anymore. I mean, I knew they took it off of the, live server, but I thought maybe it'd still be on the test server. Apparently not, so we're not going to get a look at the KV-5. Of course, I have it on live, but this is not my normal account. This is like just some other account I had started a long time ago. Alright, let's see, where is our T-34? And we already got our... no, we didn't bring out the French one yet, so let's go bring out that new French. Shit. Did it again. There it is right there. British do not have one as of yet, and neither do the Russians. Okay, so let's look here. Here's our new French boy over here. There's our T-34, our low, and our IS-6. So we're sporting 1,500 hit points over here on our new French. Well, you got 1,650 on the low, so it's only 150 difference. The exact same as the T-34, and only 50 less than the IS-6. So, yeah, hit points are pretty much on par. Let's see, top speed. 35 top speed for the IS-6, 35 for the T-34, 35 for the low, and a top speed of 51 for the French. So we have a lot faster. Our traverse speed, everybody else's traverse speed is 26, 22, 24. Traverse speed on this bad boy is 40. So it ought to be able to turn pretty good. Alright, now this is where I figure we're going to have a little bit of differences. Maybe it's not as bad as I was thinking. Okay, hull armor on the front, because that's, we all know the front, the sides and rear of pretty much every tank is paper thin any damn way. And this new French tank is no different. So, yeah, we got 100 on the front of the IS-6. We have 102 on the front of the T-34, 120 on the low, and 120 on the new French. So, yeah, that's actually pretty damn good then. Now, the IS-6 has 100, but very good slanting. The American T-34, well, if you're driving that T-34, you know to keep it hauled down. And if you can't be hauled down, then to angle your armor. But even angled, expect to be penetrated in the front hull. So, yeah, it's really not too bad. It's going to be, you know, I mean, it's 120, so it's more than the T-34 in the hull. The angling on it is pretty close to the angling on T-34, maybe not quite as good. And the low with 120 and 120. So they're both at 120 here. However, if I'm remembering correctly, the low is a lot better angled on the front than this new FMC is. Alright, let's look at our turret. Is haul down not a possibility? Well, on our low, we got 120 on the turret. Okay, we look over here at the IS-6, have 150 on the turret, and unfortunately for the IS-6, it is not, you know, slanted or beefy or badass in the turret like the IS-3 is. But it is 150, so that's not too shabby. And of course, we know nothing's going to stack up to this at a tier 8. The T-34 with 279 frontal armor on the turret. The only thing better than that is the T-32 American tier 8 heavy tank, which has just a little bit more. I think it's like 280, 290, something like that. Not a whole lot, but it is the more. And on our new French tank, our front turret is 120. So that puts it way under our T-34. That puts it just a hair under our IS-6. And my IS-6 is kind of stuck up here. Can I move it? Yes. Okay, and our low is at 120, which is, again, the exact same as the new French FCM, with 120 on the turret. Our other main important thing we're really looking at, I mean, yes, view range is important. Yes, turret traverse is important. I am going to do a quick look over here because I'm tired of calling out all these damn numbers. Yeah, 23 turret, 24 turret, 18 turret. Yeah, I know the T-34 turns slow. And 36 turret on this FMC. So with a 36 degrees turret speed, turret traverse, and then a 40 traverse speed on the hull, I bet this thing could kind of spin in a circle pretty quick. Should be able to turn pretty quick. Should make it fairly hard for circling, actually. You know, I mean, I'm just speculating here because, you know, I've only played one game in it, and I'm not going to say anything about that yet. Alright, and now let's go with the big important thing, the gun. Okay, so damage on the IS-6 is 488. Top damage. Normally you're going to hit for about 350. I have not played the IS-6 since it very first hit the PTR that it was on. But it has the same gun as the IS. So, yeah, I mean, it does say it can do 488, but, you know, that's statistics. Most of the time, with those guns, I was hitting about 350. T-34. See, this is another real good example. Shell damage, 500. I typically hit 350 to 400 with the typical, you know, normal shot. from the T-34. Low, 400 shell damage. Only played a couple games with the low on a test server, but based on the other two, I'm going to say it's probably closer to about 3 to 350. And FMC, on paper, 300 shell damage, so very low compared to the other three. And like I said, we're not counting the KV5 because you can't even buy it anymore. And if you have it, congrats. But if you don't, sucks to be you. Sorry, I just like the KV5. But, excuse me. But 300, I mean, that's a lot lower than everybody else's alpha damage, even on paper. So this thing's really only going to be hitting for about 2, maybe 250 for the majority of the time. Shell penetration on our IS is 219, 310 on the T-34, 293 on the low, and 265 on the French. So, quick recap, 319, 310. So yeah, that's lower than everybody else except for the IS-6. The IS-6 has penetration of 219. It's the only thing this thing out-penetrates. So, looking at statistics, or the stats on all these tanks, really the French tank doesn't really stand up very well. The armor is pretty much on paper. The armor is pretty much on par with everything else. The traverse speed, and turret rotation suggests that this thing, is fairly maneuverable. Let's see, rounds per minute. Let's see, here we go. We have, what is that? 5.1 on the IS. 5 rounds on low. 4 rounds on T-34. 8 rounds on this French. Okay, so the penetration is good. Not as good as T-34 low. Better than IS-6. So, penetration 265, pretty decent. You shouldn't really have too much horrible problem, I wouldn't think, with that penetration. And of course, you're going to be aiming for weak spots, right? And, damage very, very subpar. Very subpar compared to everything else. Looks like its saving grace might be the rate of fire, however. Of these 4, let's kill the IS-6 and kill the low. I do not have them on live. I do have the T-34 and KV5, and I can't bring up the KV5. So we'll compare it to what I have on live, which is T-34. That's twice the rounds per minute that the T-34 does. Now, assuming this thing did 300 damage, and assuming the T-34 did 500 damage, and the amount of time that T-34 fires once, the French fires twice. And if the French can do 300 damage per shot, in that same amount of time that T-34 fired his one shot, on paper, the French tank could do 100 more damage than the T-34. On paper. Like I said, armor's on paper pretty standard with everything else. Hit points standard with everything else. Engine power is definitely a lot better than this T-34. According to the rotations, it looks like it should be a decent tank. Or fairly maneuverable. Ugly as all get out. Now look at this front. It has some incline to it, but not much. No, that's not even as much as T-34. So I'm not expecting the front to be very bouncy. The turret, the sides here are curved, slanted. The top is slanted. And the mantlet takes up a large portion of the front. So maybe a hold down position might be a good idea for it. Only got 120 armor on it. But but the front of the turret is so small, and the side, see how it's angled at the sides? It should deflect pretty good. Now this commander's cupola up here definitely looks very large and like a good hefty target. The underglacius is very small. Looks like that's gonna be very impossible to hit. Okay, maybe not possible, but very, very difficult. I would say extremely. I just would like to see more slant on the front of it. If I see more slant on the front of this, more angling on the front of that tank, then I would be a whole hell of a lot happier. I'd be hell of a lot more optimistic about it. You know, what's the accuracy here? Aiming time 2.3, good. Accuracy 3.6, not the greatest, but you know, tolerable. Yeah, that is a 90mm though on a tier 8 tank. I mean, I can get a 90mm on the BDR at tier 5. Yeah, so that's not too damn impressive. But let's look at here. See, I got my screw 75%. I put a rammer, a gunlight drive, and a vertical stabilizer, a vent on it, and of course regular stack of consumables. Except I have the automatic fire extinguisher because this is the PTR. I have gold to burn, and I lag like a son of a bitch. So anything to get that fire out quickly when I'm not paying for it works for me. Alright, so well, I say we're going to jump into a game. That's right, boys and girls. No replay. We're going to go live. Hopefully we don't lag. Hopefully we can get games. Now I will say, okay, I've played one game in this thing so far. It's pretty much just to test the ping and, you know, so forth. I thought maybe I'd do replays like usual, but decided not to. The game I played, which we're not going to see because I'm not going to put the replay up, the team sucked ass. I didn't do too horribly well. I mean, I never do. I never play well, especially in tanks that I don't know. You know, if I haven't played them a lot, then I never play well in them. And then I almost never play well on the PTR. I don't know why. It's probably the lag or something. But I just never seem to get a performance I'm happy with on the PTR. You know, and I'm sure if you watch any of my videos, what was recorded on live server, and compare that, you know, any of those performances to what you see here, even the live shit, you know, compared to what you see on here, you could definitely tell the difference. You definitely tell, yeah, Dar wasn't at the top of his game. So we are a minute in, which is kind of bizarre. I mean, we're at tier 8, so, you know, the matchmaker easily throws us in with tier 10s. So it's kind of bizarre that we're waiting quite so long. But you can see up there at the top, we do only have 2,200 people on the test server currently, so that's not real good. But if we're lucky, I'm going to attempt to get at least a couple games. I mean, I have burnt, what, about 18 minutes here already in this video with the garage segment and all that. Excuse me. But typically the garage show is a longer episode, so I can get away with it. So hopefully we get a game here soon. Alright, tell you what, I'm going to pause our recording here until I can get a game. Okay, that was about a half a second pause. As soon as I hit the damn pause button, this shit popped up. Isn't that always the way it works? So we can see I'm second from the top, ST1, so we know it's a tier 9 game. The WZ-120, we don't know how badass that thing is, because I have not tried it yet. But since this is the last gold tank, we're going to start breaking into the Chinese tanks. You know, Chinese is where I'm starting next after this tank. So now I was really curious to kind of try this tank out and see how it would go. You know, and to be honest with you, I don't expect a whole hell of a lot because it's French. And my personal opinion, French tanks are garbage. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that love them. I'm not one of them. Alright, what we got going down there? Okay, 120 and Carnarvon going down there. Let's see, Tiger PSTA going up to the hill. IS going up the hill, so I'm going to follow the IS-2, which I believe is one of the new Chinese. And we're going to follow them, kind of support over here on this side. Good. Really not too bad coverage, I guess. 2 on each flank, 2 in the middle, already in the back. So I guess the coverage here isn't too over bad. Yeah, that's the IS-2. It's the new, I guess, yeah, Tier 7 Chinese tank. And I'm really not expecting a whole lot out of the Chinese. A lot of the Russian tanks are pretty good, you know, I think. However, you know, have you ever bought anything that says made in China? I'm just saying, you know, they don't hold up too well. And we bounced off the 120. There's another FMC. He's got a shot block there. Our ping is way up. And I assume, yeah, I think we missed that FMC there. I'm thinking IS is going to be gone here in a minute. And we missed the 120 again. Yeah, 7-second reload though on a Tier 8 heavy, not bad. We've lost the track, we've lost our gun. We'll just fix the gun. Oh, got a good penetration right there on the lower glacis. So as many shots as we've taken, we haven't taken any damage yet. Yeah, me and my big mouth. Did I just hit both of them? That's weird. Goodbye. You're no longer a threat. And now my turret's fuckered up. And I have nothing on here for repairs, so yeah, it's up to you, IS. It's gonna take a while for them to fix this. He's a Tier 7. He looks like he's bouncing off that WZ-120. Come on, get that turret fixed. Oh, shit. I missed. I'm almost dead. He is gone. I'm all that's left. I am so fucked. Backing up, backing up, backing up. Do not expect to be alive much longer, especially since I have no idea how well this thing bounces. And there's an already shot. I don't believe they see me. I believe he was just guessing. That WZ is still over there. And he's about gone as well. Next shot from either one of us kills the other one. That's very apparent. Oh shit! Ah, I bounced, I bounced, I bounced! Fucking 120 just had to come over here, didn't he? And he finished me off. So I don't know where the hell the 120 went then, the WZ. No, that's the Super Pershing over there. I don't know where the hell he went. Well, the AT did, you know, was able to knock that 122 out, which was good. And I was down to no health whatsoever. Everybody wants to see a Tiger P. Now this thing was good. I think I would like this tank right here. Obviously, just got its ass kicked, but yeah, I think that AT1 could be a lot of fun, especially, you know, on the live servers. What do we got left here? We got Tiger P that are already left, so yeah, the team definitely got its ass kicked. The other flank over there also lost, so. So yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you know, the team just wasn't up to par. Not bad. I mean, it wasn't like we just got overrun. You know, I mean, the team is putting up a fight. So I'll give them that, but yeah, I just don't think this wasn't the greatest team. That, and then you get these small teams like this, it just sucks. I hate these small teams on the test server you get like this. Come on, Tiger P, you can do it. Definitely get shot from everybody. Yeah, I think everybody's converging in on him. And there he goes. AMX 13 FR, I believe that would be their arty. So all that's left is the S-51. Is he going to concede the battle, run up there and die like a man? Or is he going to hide like a little bitch? Hey, if you're an arty, you're the last man standing, just go get shot and quit wasting your time. You're not going to, I mean, there's no way it's possible for this guy to kill all 5 of these other tanks and win the match. Never going to happen. So just, take your death like a man. Damn nice hit on ST1. Just saying. But there you go. See? There's no way in hell he was ever going to survive. Just saying. Just prolongs the inevitable. Alright. And back to the garage. Let's see how we did. On a defeat. Wow. 47,000 credits. And 600 experience. Undouble, that's just regular experience. That's not too shabby. And what do we get here? We got a Master Gunner. We got 2 good shots in on SU. Did 1 shot anyway. I think the other one kind of bounced or ricocheted. Did 277 to 120. Did 265 to the FMC. Not too bad. I don't think that's too bad, especially with this gun. This gun has no damage. It's kind of like the Tier 8 version of the Panther with the needle dick gun. I'm just saying. I was top of the list there for XP. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. 33,000 profit. Let's see. Fired 9 shots, 6 direct hits, 5 penetrations, 784 damage. I would like to have gotten more damage out. But that thing received 8 hits from some rather big guns. So maybe the tank has a little more survivability than I was giving it credit for. That are, with the ping and everything, it's very possible that, the vast majority of these guys, I mean, I know people in the EU have a lot better ping than I do here, being here in the US. But, no, you can suck my dick. So anyway, connection. I had a connection problem, but we're going to keep recording. So yeah, this thing, I think it has a lot of potential. I think the gun is very underwhelming, which is weird for for the French. Usually they have really good guns and shitty, placed on really shitty tanks. But I think the tank's pretty decent, but the gun's just shitty. I don't know. I might play around with a little more, on test server. But for right now, I'm going to say don't buy it. My opinion is, if you're going to buy a Tier 8, buy a real Tier 8 heavy. If you're going to spend that much money, I would go for T-34 or the low, possibly the IS-6. This definitely would not be on my wish list. As a matter of fact, it's not on my wish list, and it's not going on my wish list. I mean, if you're spending that much money, I would want something with a little more oomph. That's why I love my T-34. I love seeing those big numbers when I, just rock fucking big-ass tanks for 400 damage. It's phenomenal. I love it. Woohoo, it's so much fun. But, yeah. I would definitely go T-34 or low. Possibly IS-6. But I would, I'd go T-34 then the low. That's my priority. That's my opinion anyway. I think this tank is decent. It definitely takes more of a beating than I gave it credit for. But for me, personally, the gun is just too underwhelming, and there are better options for the same money. If you want to get it just to be a collector of, tanks, then by all means get it. I think, you probably will have some fun in the tank. It's not a complete loss like the TOG 2 is, but I just think there's better options. Alright guys, so we're going to wrap it up here and quit looking at our connection interrupted. Until next time, remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. I am releasing videos every single day for a long while. So make sure you subscribe so you can be notified about all those new videos coming. Until next time, guys, I will see you in game.